Hi there, here is Danny, and today we talk about Cervelo TT Triathlon bikes range. I'm gonna show you 4 models, so all the models they have. I'm gonna compare the features, show you the differences and help with your choice. I will also point out some info on their website which can be quite misleading, especially for P3 and P2 models. So let's start with the Ironman World Champs this year results, 2017. We've got the 3rd place British David McNamee and the 5th place South African James Kunama riding the Cervelo P5X, and P5X had also secured one top 10 spot in the women's category. So really successful bike, and when we count the bikes at this year champs, Cervelo had 570, Trek 261, Specialized 216, Felt 177, and so on. So Cervelo is really crushing the field of triathlon. Why is it so? Let me focus on this topic in a couple of minutes now. This is the whole range of Cervelo's road bikes, and we are focusing on this area here, which is the triathlon and time trial bikes, and these are called P series. And here we have 4 models: P5X, P5, P3, and P2. And what Cervelo engineers are working so hard and doing well on are aerodynamics, that's for sure, but also fit, practicality, and compatibility. These are so important features for especially multisport athletes. So P5X, this is to make a long story short, super duper, the most aerodynamic bike of Cervelo, very expensive, and it's made for sponsored professional triathletes. Period. Very good bike, as you could see on the results of the Kona. Then we have P5, a little bit less aerodynamic, so a little bit less aggressive, but still this bike does well, very well on time trials as well in the pro peloton. So still super fast bike. And then we have P3 and P2 bikes, which are, some say entry level, some say budget. These don't cost little money, but as for the triathlon bikes, these are not that expensive. And still P2 can win the races. Many champs have been won on the P2, and if you know, I think you know Chrissy Wellington, which used to ride Cervelo. That was her first sponsor. She was riding the previous generation of this bike and has won on this bike, I think, twice the Ironman World Champs. So this is interesting. Let's look at the features. P5X has many proprietary parts, so with the compatibility it will be maybe less, I'm gonna have less to say, but this bike is practical for triathletes. If we look at this short presentation here, you will see how many different things you can adjust on the bike. You can adjust the height of your pads, of your aero bar. You can adjust the position of the pads, of course. You can adjust the width. So it will really help you to find the balance between being aggressive and aero, and between producing the power and you know, having the still the energy to run the marathon, or just whatever the distance. You can adjust the angle, and also these bars, even though proprietary and super aero, will be quite easy for disassembling and transportation, and that is very important for triathletes. A lot of different adjustment options for the seat post as well, and for your fore-aft saddle position. So that's all the bike is giving you. Besides that, all the boxes for like the storage place, even for your, not only for your food and for your drinking, but for the tools, and if you need some warmer jacket or so, you will fit it into this frame, into the boxes. Really well made, and this bike has disc brakes. Super expensive, fast, and just good for the riders. Then we have P5, and now I can tell you that P5, P3 and P2 have same geometry. So if you look at stack it and reach on these specs and geometry, the chart, it will be the same. P5X will be more aggressive, so it will be lower than the P5, P3 and P2. And P5 comes in 4 sizes, whereas P5, P3 and P2, the chart here shows us 6 sizes, but I think at least for P3 and P2 there are even 7, because there's even this small 45 centimeters size. So really easy to find the best size for yourself. Now P5, just as P5X, will have brakes hidden in the front fork, and the rear one hidden just behind the bottom bracket, whereas P3 and P2 will have very standard brakes in the very standard position. So standard caliper brakes at the front of your fork, not even hidden at the back, and then these at the seat stays just as normal. The seat stays are designed though to hide these calipers at the end, at the back of your bike a little bit from the drag. So that's for more aerodynamics, but otherwise super easy to adjust these brakes. You have full options here to do whatever you would like to. You don't have to remove the crankset, or it's just easy to maintain these brakes, which is cool. P5, more aero, but same geometry. We've got here more aero bars, but still these come from 3T, not from the Cervelo. But I think these bars also now, yeah, there is a recall for these bars, so just for those who have this bike. And then P3 and P2, these are the most popular bike from among the triathletes. These are made also for the age group triathletes. So doesn't matter even you are pro 30 years old or just age group amateur 60 years old triathlete, you will be happy riding this bike. It doesn't mean that 60 years old has to be less flexible, but it can be the case. So this bike will give you the option to replace the stem, because this is just a standard stem. You can have a higher, you can have longer, shorter, you can adjust the fore-aft position of your pads. So all that, and also a lot of adjustment here on the saddle, all that is made for you. You can also put your bottles here, you can have the box for your food or the tools, whatever. These bikes are versatile and also easy to disassemble and travel with you. So aerodynamics is cool, fit, really easy, many sizes, practicality, these brakes, easy to maintain, everyone knows how to deal with these, and compatibility, no issues, just standard fork. Now some features, some things, info on the website that can be misleading. Aero cable management, it says both for P3 and P2, but it's only for P5 and P5X. So this here, what is shown here, is not for P3 and P2. This is just wrong here. P3 and P2 have really standard way of routing the cables. Then BB right or B bright, asymmetrical bottom bracket, that's true for all the bikes. Drop down tube, that's true. Extended seat tube cut, that's true for P2, P3 and P5, because P5X has different design. Now, future-proof cable management doesn't apply to P3 and P2. So once more, this is misleading here. I hope these have carbon dropouts as it says here. And then this would suggest that maybe P2, P3 and P5 will have oversized steering tube. They don't. P2, P3 and P5 have both headset bearings the same 118. So 118, so there's no tapered here. The only tapered one is the P5X. It will have 1.5 inch at the bottom and 118, so standard one at the top. So it's good to know that. Otherwise, all the info I think are correct. So specs and geometry. This is so important. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So exactly 7 sizes here. That's so cool. If you compare stack and reach, it will be the same for different sizes for P2, P3, and P5. And also, important thing I forgot to mention is that P2 and P3 share the same frame. So only the fork will be different, and the difference is really very, very little, tiny difference. So in terms of the aerodynamics, the P3 will be a bit more aero, but it's really subtle difference. So same frame for P2 and P3. That's good to know. And then if we compare, for example, these bikes geometry to the entry-level triathlon and well-known Felt B14, which is even cheaper, that's the cheapest bike I think, and still very good quality, we will see, especially by the stack, that the felt will be higher, so more comfy. Let's try to find, let's say, reach 460, 436. We have 437 58 size on the Cervelo, so let's say it's same. Then the stack for Cervelo will be 559, and for the felt will be 573. So it's almost 1.5 centimeter higher. That's the distance between the bottom bracket. That's the vertical distance between the bottom bracket and this point, the top point of the top tube. So felt is higher, you will be sitting more comfy here. And other thing that I'd like to mention is that on these pictures you can see the stem which is just slammed down to the head tube because it looks so cool. But if you buy the bike, a new bike, it will come with longer steering tube with some spacers, so still you can adjust the position according to your needs. So these are main features I wanted to share. These are aero bikes. The P2 and P3 are really aero. Now this generation of P3, because Chrissy Wellington was riding the previous one, is also stiffer and easier to handle. So these bikes shine here as well. Then bike fit, 7 sizes, so many different options for putting your position here at the front and the saddle as well, which is good. Practicality, easy to travel with all of these 4 bikes, even the P5X, and easy brakes for P2 and P3. And compatibility, you can just replace these bars with whatever brand you want to have, because this is not proprietary here. So P2, P3 is something I would especially recommend. If you have any of these bikes, let us know. What do you think about those? How they ride? How does it feel? I didn't cover everything, so I'm hoping that you not only post comments, but also some comments about the bikes. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.